What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. Sorry, this road's kind of bumpy. I'm headed up to make a delivery in Arkansas, and they're turning me right back around to Texas. Pick up in Springfield, Missouri, and back to Texas again. They're really upping their game on how many miles they're giving me, and I'm enjoying it. My paycheck's been $1,400 a week lately, so yeah, way to go. That's just more money for me to dump. So I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country researching and trading stocks, and I will not be responsible for any moves you make in the stock market. Not ever. I am not your mama. Do your own research, all right? Again, I'm sorry about the bumpy camera. Maybe we'll hit some smoother road here in a minute. But, not a lot of traffic or anything. It's good. It's okay for me to be making a video while I'm driving. I know people hadn't really been on that kick for a while, but so guys, I screwed up yesterday, all right? Now, you guys know that I've been looking at EVgo for a long time. I used to have a bunch of shares of it, and it didn't perform the way I wanted it to, so I got rid of it. And I've been watching it ever since. I've always said that it's trading way too low. So yesterday morning, I saw it running up in the pre-market. I bought 100 shares of it. It continued to run up, and then it fell down, and then it started coming back up. And I went ahead and sold it and took $100 profit, all right? So when I say I screwed up, I don't mean I lost money. I got out of the stock with a profit, but then it continued to run up for the rest of the day. Now I wake up and look at it in the pre-market. It's up 35% this morning. Like I sold it yesterday for $100 profit, and I could have been up over $600 profit right now. So I screwed up. All right. It happens sometimes. Green is green, profit is profit, but man, it's really hard when you take that small profit and then something ends up being a multi-day runner like what we got going on here. And I'm tempted to buy some of it right now, but I'm afraid it's going to drop on the open or something. It's too unpredictable when it's run up this much. I'm not recommending that anybody buy it. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but it could continue to run up to 25 or 30. I don't know. I'm just not taking the chance on it, and I'm kind of feeling the sting that I could have made a lot more on that trade. PayPal, guys. PayPal has fallen a bunch more after the earnings came out. And I don't care what nobody says. There ain't no reason PayPal should have fell this much, guys. All right? I'm down about $150. I bought 10 shares of it at, what was it, $230, $231. And I'm going to reiterate, I'm not a financial advisor, but PayPal at $219, guys, like there's a lot of news stories coming out saying people lowered their price targets, but all of them are like lowering their price targets to $360, $325, you know what I mean? Not $219. And I just don't see a way that PayPal doesn't pop back up in the 300s. I don't see a way that it doesn't do that. Right now, you know how it is. People start selling, it starts going down, then other people freak out and start panic selling and shit like that. The stock is low, guys. The stock is way too low at $219. So do your own research, make your own decisions. But if I had a bunch of cash sitting on hand, I'd be looking to buy PayPal. All right, it's not going to stay at this price. It may go down some more. Or market might open, it might pop right back up to $260. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. You can't just time it perfectly. You got to pick your opportunities. And right now, guys, at this price, goddamn, man, PayPal, I don't know. OEG came back up to $3 around yesterday. It's down a little bit in the post free market, but earnings coming on Monday. And, I'm not sure, like I said before, I'm not sure what to think about what we're going to see on the earnings. But I do think that it might make a difference that they had been, in the last earnings call, okay, they had been talking about how they were looking to make a big acquisition to get them into the electricity transmission sector to finish out the areas that they want to be in, all right? And so I had expected in this last quarter that they would have made that. They were talking about a company, they were already looking at a company and stuff, and I expected them to buy another company during that time period. But they didn't make that purchase, so that's millions and millions of dollars that they didn't spend. And in that other one, they also talked about how they had overbought on equipment and stuff like that because of supply chain issues, and that, they were ramping up, adding crews and stuff. They had to buy more equipment, and so that set them back a little bit in that last quarter. But that, since they overbought, they didn't expect to have to buy much in this past quarter. So those two things put together, the fact that they shouldn't have had to buy a bunch of equipment and stuff in this last quarter, and they didn't execute some big acquisition. There was a small acquisition by Gibson Technical Services, okay? But it could be a surprise beat on earnings. It's possible, all right? And with the infrastructure bill passing, there's already momentum in that type of sector. And so what I think could potentially happen, possibly, if they have a big beat, even if it's not showing profits yet, if they have a big beat, there could be a jump. And what typically happens with OEG is once it starts running, a bunch of people jump on board and it runs way up. So I'm hoping maybe this is the time when we get a big run up on OEG after earnings. It's 50-50. It's probably less than 50-50. Don't take my word for it. If you've been watching them, then you know what I'm talking about with all this. I'm not saying that's going to happen or making no promises or anything like that. It could tank, all right? Do your own research as always. I'm not your mama, all right? And, I'm way up in the cash account on Ethereum. I'm over 100% now. I've more than doubled my money on Ethereum. It's not much money, like $250 or something, like hardly anything. But that account is small compared to the Roth IRA. The other two accounts are really small. So I'm up over double on Ethereum. I'm up about 90% on Bitcoin. Tesla's fell a little bit, but I'm still like 80% up on Tesla. And I'm considering taking some profits. I don't know if I will. All right. Now I was looking at the M1 Finance, a YouTube account yesterday. Now we got some stocks that we're way up on. We got some that we're down a little bit on, but we're up like 130% on our Tesla position over there. We're up over 100% on Nvidia. There's several of them that we're way up on, like close to, if not more than, doubled our money.
New message. Daily reminder, asterisk winter driving a tractor trailer in serious winter conditions demands a specific set of skills for all professional truck drivers. It is necessary to adapt your driving style when driving in poor weather conditions, especially on snow-covered or icy roads. Good maneuvering and skid control skills are essential in poor weather. Driving in snow and foul weather is always a challenge, even for the most experienced truckers. Be safe, be the professional.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't even remember where I was. In the M1 Finance. The M1 Finance currently up about 25% in total. We're down in some stuff. We're up in some stuff. But overall, it's looking good. I mean, 25% is not bad. It's been there less than a year. And I expect it to do good throughout this year. Some stocks that I wanted to just touch on, besides PayPal or A-Stock, is PAVE. It's an ETF, P-A-V-E. It's an ETF that focuses on infrastructure stocks. And if you're not familiar with that stock, it could be something that could do very well over the next several months or year or more. So you might look at that if you like investing in ETFs. I have it in my watch list. I've been paying attention to it for a while, but I watched a video Jeremy made, and he mentioned that ETF, and so I thought I would just mention it here because it is something that I've been watching for quite some time, waiting on this infrastructure bill. I haven't invested in it yet, but you know, if I were to build a new pie or something like that, I probably would include that stock in there, that ETF. So I just wanted to make a video, talk about my little screw up I did yesterday and how I lost a bunch of potential gains, and talk about what's going on with PayPal. All right, you know, let's talk a little bit about T-Mobile too, because you know, I've talked about this a little bit in the past, but some developments happened recently to where so T-Mobile uses the low band frequency for their 5G, all right? And Verizon and AT&T plan to use those high band frequencies, all right? Now, there's a big benefit to T-Mobile using those low band frequencies already, and that is that they will pass through buildings and, you know, stuff like that. But with the high band that AT&T and Verizon are talking about, that does not pass through buildings and stuff like that very well. It doesn't really pass through anything well. And if you do some research on it, you'll see that just having a tree in between you and the transmitter can cause you to lose your signal on that 5G. And that's where AT&T and Verizon have focused the vast majority of their money when they go to these auctions and buy these bands. Basically, they bid for these bands and try to eat it all up so nobody else can use it, right? Well, they focused all their attention on this high and mid band stuff that really, when you look at 5G and all the stuff that we've seen over the last year or so, they talk about how they're going to have to put antennas everywhere, and that's why, because it doesn't pass through things. So the only way that you get good connectivity with that high band stuff is if there are antennas everywhere. So you go around this corner and lose signal, and there's another one right there, so you can maintain a continuous super hyper fast internet connection, all right? And the high and mid band is a faster connection. You know, it's way faster than the low band, which is what T-Mobile's using. But T-Mobile is already winning. They're already winning the 5G game, okay? And they just had a thing happen where the airlines have basically put a hold on AT&T and Verizon. They don't really have shit for 5G yet, either one of them. They're counting on this high band stuff. And anyway, the airline said that this high band frequency stuff can interfere with some navigational shit that they have in the airplanes, and so they've had to put a hold on it. Meanwhile, T-Mobile just still kicking out and building out and kicking out 5G. They're so far ahead already, and like I said before, it's fast, guys. Just that low band is not as lightning fast like the high band stuff. In some places that I get, it's fast enough to turn your hotspot on, stream a fucking game, play a game on your fucking laptop, and stream it at the same time. I mean, we're talking about internet speeds 104 megabits per second, whatever it is. You know, speeds that, I've seen it as high as 140, 160. You know, I mean, these are speeds that I wasn't even getting at home in Texas with the best plan that I could get. You know, they're fast. And AT&T and Verizon are just kicking the can. You know, there was all that talk about AT&T trying to trick motherfuckers into thinking they were getting 5G when they really weren't. And really, those guys can't do shit with their 5G yet. And T-Mobile's just steady building it and steady, offering it. So T-Mobile, man, I'm telling you, they're going to do well over the next year or so. So PayPal, T-Mobile, Pave, those are three. Pave, that ETF is PAVE, is actually the ticker symbol, Pave. T-Mobile's TMUS. Easy to find T-Mobile, PayPal. And obviously I'm still bullish on OEG. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Have a good day.